there's been an ongoing problem within the industry.
I doubt you know the half of it, Matt. But yeah, the video games industry is having a major problem with social justice warriors and their stupid feminist agenda.
That kind of comes from two specific sides.
And if you mischaracterize, ignore, or blatantly lie about either one of those sides, I'm going to call you a shithead.
You've got one side who just think that games are super fun.
So they must be the enemies of Gamasutra's Devin Wilson then.
And think that games should be approachable and enjoyable for everyone.
How do they? They sound so compassionate.
And the other side that basically won't stop until women have realised that it's not appropriate for them to criticise our hobby.
Listen, shithead, people have been criticising our hobby since our hobby was invented. The problem is when they co-opt the gaming journalist media and then pump out 10 articles in one day, coincidentally on the 28th of August, saying that gamers are dead, gaming is over, and fun is not the most important thing about gaming. Get to the point.
But anyway, I'm more interested in people who are sitting on the fence, and people who often sit on the fence with this stuff and don't wish to get involved with any of this stuff often ask me a simple question.
You want to make a simple point, they're asking simple questions. Are any of you capable of complexity?
It's a reasonable question as well. Can't we just talk about games?
Listen, you simpleton, I'll try and make this as clear as I can. That is all anyone ever wanted to talk about. Your crew, your stupid feminist social justice warrior bullshitters, have done nothing but muddy the fucking waters talking about your genitalia and what kind of people you like to rub your genitalia against. Nobody else is interested, we just want to talk about the fucking games. So you're not talking to people on the fence, you're in fact talking to the very people you said, I'm not talking to those people, because you're a fucking idiot.
And it's a reasonable question with a very, very simple answer.
I'll try and contain my surprise.
I am talking about games.
Yeah, way to miss the point there, genius.
Because games isn't about what's out this week, and games isn't about what came out last week.
You have no idea where you're going with this, do you?
And games isn't even about what's coming out next year that you're excited about.
Well, you heard it here first. Games that are going to come out in the future aren't something to look forward to.
Games is about what we were playing 10 years ago, right?
No.
And games is about what we're going to be playing in 10 years.
No, but do go on.
And if looking that far ahead at the future seems pointless, you don't care about that, then well, ask yourself a simple question. What's your favourite game of all time?
And did you play that game in the past? Checkmate, gamers.
Work out what your favourite game of all time is, and then look up when it came out.
See? It wasn't in the future, was it?
Chances are, it was quite a long time ago.
It just stands to reason, doesn't it?
I'm going to suggest one simple...
To no one's surprise.
...reason for that. We were young.
Absolutely watertight. Case closed. I was indeed younger in the past.
Then we are not fulfilling our destiny.
Destiny! Are you a prophet from God? Have you been touched by the Almighty? Did you come down from the mount with these stone tablets carved with the Lord's own finger, Sherry? What are you fucking talking about? Destiny!
There we go, not fulfilling our destiny.
That's right, woman. You have a destiny. Look at your face. Oh shit, I was just going to go home and watch Hollyoaks. But it's a good thing my Lord Prophet Sherry Blair came along and told me I had a fucking destiny. And to top off the irony of the idea that women have a destiny, that means they're not free. That means they don't get to make their own choices. If it's destined, then it's all predetermined. That means someone else has made this choice for women.
And in the same breath you go, why aren't there any girls here?
Bullshit! Bull fucking shit! Right? I started playing Warhammer 40,000 when I was 12 years old. I fucking loved it. I started buying comics when I was the same age. I fucking loved it. I went to numerous war games clubs, comic clubs, computer clubs. Not once, fucking once has any man at those things said, I wish there were more girls here. And do you want to know why, Piggywig? It's because we don't want girls there. You're just a bunch of fucking killjoys. Just like this video proves. You just want to ruin the fucking fun. You can't go along with it and say, hey, everyone's having a great time. Maybe I should just conform to the way these guys are doing things because that's how to have a good time. No, you have to come in and oink the place up and ruin it. Well fucking done, you big fucking ruiners.
It does.
It does exist.
Mike, is this a fair point Dina's making? You don't like women very much. Is that
No, you fucknuts. Why are you even entertaining this mental patient's question?
Nonsense.
because I have,
Absolutely
to be
nonsense.
fair to Daisy and Dina, they have said that look, there are issues which affect men
Well, they've got
Yeah, and then they implied that all of the help should go to women.
just as much as women.
which has been discredited. You know, it's perfectly well known that there is a gender pay gap, but it's down to women's choices. Women will not go into things like engineering, and you know.
You can tell by the look on her face, she's about to say the most absurd thing conceivable.
Okay, but I think that I don't know if you know any women, or I mean,
Idiot.
What a silly statement.
okay.
People like this woman are the reason that the Huffington Post is a fucking joke.
When women are young, it's a lot of the things that people who are sort of anti-sex campaigners or people who campaign for women to get more involved with science and technology and engineering and maths say is that they're not incentivized and they're not told when they're young, when they're in school, that they can do these jobs. And
So the fact that all children of both genders have to do chemistry, science, maths and physics is in absolutely no way indicative of that. You babbling mental patient.
that's why there's a lot of work to
Why do they always have to be incentivised?
Because on average, they're not really that interested in these subjects.
Why do women need role models? I mean, for God's sake, are they adults or are they sheep?
Well, I was always raised to believe that women were intelligent adults capable of making their own decisions. Feminists, however, have persuaded me that women are in fact sheep, as you say.
Mike, who are your role models?
Margaret Thatcher.
A woman.
A woman? Holy shit! But we have already established that you hate women. How can a woman be your role model? Fucking... It's just... These people are such ideologues. They are so deeply mired in their gender politics that they cannot believe that a woman might actually achieve something on her own merits.
Yes.
So what's your view of Margaret Thatcher
I think
then?
she was the most astonishing political, prime minister of this, peacetime prime minister for 100 years. A most remarkable woman who got to the top on working working very hard and not expecting, special treatment.
Well, that's ludicrous, and that obviously could never happen. Margaret Thatcher must be fictional.
She put quite a lot of measures in place that really work to keep women out of the workplace, especially single mothers. Does that fit with your credo?
I love how quickly they disown Margaret Thatcher. Well, I know this is a woman that got to the top, but she got there through hard work. Therefore, now we need to start complaining that Margaret Thatcher hurts women, and is in fact in no way a role model for women. Oh, but God forbid that a man thinks, what's wrong with me? Don't I deserve to find a woman? You know, this is the problem. It's the complete lack of fucking empathy. They are human beings too.
What happens when that angry, entitled man is armed with a gun, with a knife, with date rape drugs? Violence is one way that men attempt to maintain their power over women.
Clearly you haven't been listening to your own wittering nonsense, because you have established that these men have no power over women. You have established it by saying these men can't get laid, they can't get a date. No woman is interested in them, and they cannot compel any woman to be interested in them.
That is misogyny, but it's not always extreme like this either. Think about things like street harassment, catcalling, the verbal abuse that so many women put up with online, stalking, threats, intimidation, assault, rape, physical violence.
If I list a series of crimes, maybe you'll think that every man does them, because clearly I sure do.
Men who act this way feel entitled to women's bodies and to their time. They're so entitled, in fact, that many of them believe that this is a sign that we put women on a pedestal. Ooh.
Feminism absolutely does, whether you want to believe it or not.
It's so wonderful not being seen as a full human being.
If you want to be seen as a full human being, Lacey, perhaps you should try seeing other people as full human beings, such as these guys that you're talking about, who clearly have severe mental health issues, and you're just saying, no, they're misogynists, they're evil, they're bad. They are not, they are insane. They are people who have had really bad experiences in this life, and you don't care.
But prepare yourself for an onslaught of entitlement. The failure of men to foot it with them educationally in equal numbers is no reason to change the system or promote men undeservedly. Are you fucking kidding? Are you serious? What the fuck is wrong with your fucking brain? The shortage of partners for highly educated women is a problem only men can solve. Get your credentials, boys. How about fuck yourself? You are the lonely ones. You are the ones who have ignored the problems of men and boys. And I know I sound like a fucking MRA, but these are human beings who are being treated like they don't matter. Like they are the servants of women. Like they owe women something. But listen to that entitlement. There are women who want to get married, and they want to get married to men who are smarter and better earning than themselves. So go and get educated, because what you want doesn't matter. There are women who want something of you. And of course, debate on this article is now closed.
Personally, I get a little skeeved out when people try and pretend that my racial identity doesn't exist at all.
Well, I don't know what skeeved out means, but okay, well, maybe they're just not really that interested in talking about you all that much. I mean, you're sat there, oh yeah, I'm Asian, by the way. Yeah, okay, that's fascinating, thank you. Yeah, but no, but I'm half Asian. I mean, like, that's half Asian. And I'm like, okay, that's great, good for you. And they'll be like, yeah, but can I talk to you about my race some more? And they're like, no, go away.
When someone says something like, you don't seem like a black person or an Asian person or whatever, meaning that person defies the societal expectation of what that race should be, then that's actually really racist.
Yes, it is, which is why most people don't fucking say that. Seriously, you must be hanging around with a bunch of hipster racists if that's what they say, because no one that I know has ever said anything like that in my presence to anyone of any race whatsoever. It just doesn't come up.
First off, that denies that person's racial identity and experiences.
Who cares? It's wrong to judge people based on stereotypes of their race. We've got it. Let's not do it.
Second off, it says you don't seem like the specific race because you don't adhere to the stereotypes associated with it.
Yep, very good.
Someone adhering to or not adhering to the stereotypes of their race doesn't invalidate their racial identity and lived experiences.
Yep, fully agreed. This is really fascinating.
This is also usually said in an attempt to compliment someone, which is actually super gross and insulting.
I don't know, I don't hang around with hipsters, but I mean, if hipster racists say that, then hipster racists say that.
The second point I want to make is that individual prejudices aren't the only contributing factors to racism.
Possibly not, but they are certainly the ones that we as individuals can control.
We're going to look at racism as two forms. Individual racism, which is on a person-to-person level, and systemic racism, which involves the way that society is structured to benefit some races more than others.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Society was not designed to benefit some races at the expense of others. The society you live in has come about holistically, through a myriad different competing forces that have resulted in what you have now. To say society was designed makes you sound like an idiot, and then to say society was designed to benefit some races at the expense of others makes you sound even more silly.
I think you're really confusing what feminists are saying. I think you're really failing to listen. When feminists are talking about masculinity and the way that what I'm not saying is men are innately evil and awful. What I'm saying is that we live in a rather toxic culture where men are raised and told that they should be competitive and aggressive and detached from their emotions. And actually, this is wrong, and this is not doing men any favours or women any favours.
For a fucking feminist! For fuck's sake, it's fine for men because men are naturally like that. On average, most men are like that. And when you demonise this, when you make it the antithesis of being a good man in society, they start killing themselves. For fuck's sake!
And it ties in directly to the mental health issues that Martin is talking about with young men, and it ties in directly to the women being brutally murdered by their partners every week in Britain.
They don't have mental health problems. Unless you think they should be acting like little girls, in which case suddenly they do, and suddenly, like Milo said, they need to be drugged. Your philosophy advocates for drugging children. Do you think you might be wrong?
And that's what we're challenging. It's not about attacking men, it's about challenging the culture that men are being dragged into and saying, you don't have to be a part of that, there are much better options for men.
How would you fucking know that there are better options for men, given that you are not a man? You are in no position to judge, and the results seem to be going against you. I think what you mean is that there are better options for women.
Right, that we want to be more and more white.
Well, if that's the case, I think you can consider yourself fully decolonized. Well done.
We want to be the exceptional Negro. We want to have the things that they have, right?
Is this an attempt to explain crime statistics?
Now, as a colonizer, you are growing up in that same kind of reality, but in a different spectrum. Different spectrum.
All right, calm down. Just tell me what I think.
So you think, yes, all black people are savages, all black people are horrid.
Well, thank God a black person's here to tell me that I think all black people are savages. Otherwise, I might not have known.
I am amazing, I am white, I have all the things, and I need to help them, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, right?
By God, that's it. That's exactly how I feel. That's exactly what I think. I'd never had it put into words so eloquently before. I am, in fact, some kind of Ubermensch. Thanks, Hitler.
And not only that, but if you grow up in a home in which it's okay by birth for one group to eat and the other to cook.
Fucking what? One group to eat and the other to cook? Are you suggesting that group also didn't eat? What do you think the group that is just eating and not cooking is doing? Where do you think this food that is being cooked has come from? Holy shit, this is pissing me off.
For one to get an education and the other not.
All children have to go to school, Gloria. And 60% of university graduates are female. 40% are male. Stop living in this fucking deluded fantasy land. What you're saying does not reflect reality.
For one to get beaten up, or one to get ordered around, and the other give the orders and do the...
What kind of family life do you think most people have? This is the product of being raised solely by an insane mother. Most people don't have one child that they let beat up the other child.
What? I like talking about games. Can't we just talk about games? Yes. If you really, really just don't want to get involved in any of this stuff, and you don't want to have to try and explain to a friend why what they're saying is a bit dim or wrong. If you just want to talk about games, you just want to talk about what game's out next week, game's out for Christmas, I don't want to deal, that's fine. That's fine, right? But you just got to bear in mind that in the future, if you do that, gamers might not be worth talking about. If they aren't, that's on you.
He is right, but for the wrong reasons. Seriously, these people are going to destroy gaming if we let them. They are literally going to reduce all cultures to a single beige sludge, where fun isn't an issue, but unlimited inclusivity is. I can't describe how much I don't want this to happen. I want people to make games and then find the audience that likes those games. Whether they are stupid shit like Gone Home, or Depression Quest, or really exciting stuff like Rome, or fucking Call of Duty, I don't care. I just don't want these dipshits puppeteering the whole thing and introducing Orwellian restrictions on freedom of thought.